Sentire Media.
All right, here we go, and then for another installment of the podcast from Italy. I'm Jason.
Ciao, I'm Ashley.
And together we run, own, operate La Tavola Marche in the foothills of the Pini, I guess.
Yeah.
This is our...
Hasn't changed.
No. We did one of these a month ago for those actually the dozens around the world listening. We are 1 month older, a little bit fatter. And ready to do another one, I guess.
Sadly, so true.
Words were never so true. So we'll try. Should we make that a resolution? Let's just do it once a month.
All right, we'll shoot for that. All
right, that's not really that difficult.
No, it shouldn't be.
1 hour every 4 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go.
Let's do it. So, all right. What have we been up to? Well, since the last podcast was beginning of January, right? We were ending it with a teaser that we were headed to our friends Carlo and Gigia, who have a farm just outside of Urbino that raise Cintisinese pigs. Now, if you listen to the podcast, you might remember we had a little conversation / argument, whatever, of what Cintisinese pigs look like.
You were right. You're right.
Jason was certain they were spotted, and I was certain it had a stripe down the middle. One more time.
Yeah. Well, it has a stripe over the shoulders. Yes, You were correct. 100%.
Thank you.
Consider this your public apology.
Very good. That is excellent. So we went up there, and we haven't seen them in freaking years. Even though we live so close, we all get so busy with our own lives and everything. And we used to do our butchery workshops with them each year. And so many of you who listen might remember them. And anyway, we went up to their farm and had a lovely lunch and just great to reminisce and everything. And we talked pigs.
They're coming. We got 2 weeks from today. They're coming. We're going to get, I think, castrated. We're going to we're not, I don't think we're going to breed the pigs first off. I think we're going to just raise 2 pigs and see how that goes. And then if that goes well, we'll start breeding. So we're going to get 2 castrated males. They're going to be about 30 kilo.
About 3 months.
About 3 months old. Mm-hmm. And I'm ready.
So now we're just trying to figure out transportation. It was hilarious because they were very nervous of certain documents needed to transport them and this and that. And we're all doing it kind of in the black, if you will.
Well, no, since we're not doing this we're not going to raise the meat to sell it.
Exactly.
It's just for a family. It's private.
Yeah.
You don't have to follow the same regulations as you would, with the tags and the blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Blah.
It's a certain registering things. Anyway, it's all back roads between their house and our house, like serious back roads. And it was like, we don't need to worry about this transportation.
Well, yeah, kind of. How we have a van, but
we have to figure out if we're using our vehicle, how we are kitting out the back of the caddy.
My idea was to line we have a.
It looks like a delivery van.
It looks like a delivery van that you see all over Europe. My idea was to line the sides of it with pallets and then just throw down a bunch of straw. And hopefully they won't.
And hope for the best.
Hope for the best. And this way, if they start, they're 30 kilo pig that's a pig, still a pig.
If they don't settle down.
Yeah.
So, or they might bring them, he was saying as well. So we've got to figure that out. But
I would much rather pay someone to bring them over.
Absolutely.
But if you pay someone the animal transport, they don't just transport animals without the total proper documentation, because they only transport animals for commercial. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not. We'll see. We live in a farming community. We'll figure it out.
We know a guy. A pig guy.
That's the least of our It's going to turn out, we're going to look back on this in 3 months and be like, remember when we
thought that
was the problem?
Exactly. But the next step with the pigs is setting up their food and water station. And otherwise, everything's pretty good.
The house is ready. I got to figure out, do I just, for this winter, while it's freezing every morning, should I just bring down water every morning? Or do I left a I'm kind of roughed in with that.
Well, it's very Italian. They suggested we wait for the weather to warm up just a little because it's just too cold for them to be alone. At least they're with the pack right now. So, but beginning of March, exactly.
Beginning of March, so they will take about 2 years they grow slow. This is the slow type. So it's going to take about 2 years for them to become mature enough to worth slaughtering.
Well, and as Jason just mentioned, the weather's been erratic. We've had a few snowstorms, which is nice. We definitely need the snow for the water. But then yesterday was 21 and at the high, but we woke up and it was -8. So one hell of a swing. This morning now is 2 or 3 degrees when we first woke up and jumped to 7. Who knows what the high will be today?
And that's centigrade. I don't know. I don't remember. Mm-hmm. Google it.
But Gigi's right about the nights still can be so cold. So we'll keep waiting. But we're excited. Pigs are coming.
Pigs are coming.
Speaking of pigs, do you want to mention how the sausage did?
Oh, yeah. It's as we predicted. 40 kilos of salamis and sausages. Not garbage, but not done properly. And they will not last through the summer. I'm done. I quit.
Bummer.
I quit.
Wah, wah, wah. So what else happened? Well, we had when we had during one of the snowstorms, sadly it meant that the blessing of the animals done at the church by the priest each year was going to be postponed due to snow.
Every year, usually in late January, early February. I'm sure there's a date.
Of course there's a date.
I'm not looking it up.
Of course I don't know.
They do the benediction of the animals, and people bring anything. You can bring any animal to the piazza, and the priest gets up there and blesses all the animals, and then there's
horses to chickens to everything.
Donkeys, cows, snakes, birds, you name it, it's there. And we're going to bring old Leroy, the Great Dane, this year for his first.
We're so excited.
I was super excited. It got snowed out. But what didn't get snowed out was the polenta afterwards.
Correct. So we had prenotatoed. You had to make a reservation via WhatsApp. Everything's via WhatsApp. And so it was like I sent him a message that morning going, is the polenta still on, even with the snow? And he gave me the thumbs up, and it was like, all right, it's on.
So the priest doesn't come down. The piazza's empty, but we're stirring the polenta.
Oh, hell yeah. And finally polenta the right time of year. Our freaking Piobbbico, I love them, and I do love the polenta, but they do it in August.
End of August, beginning of September for harvest.
It makes sense for when you're doing it, but it's so goddamn hot.
No one wants a steaming plate of heavy polenta when it's sweltering outside.
Oh my God. With like a rich meat sugo. Oh my God. You're just like, oh. So finally I was like, oh, sweet. Snowing football polenta. Yes. And I drove into town through the snow to get it. It was just like not too bad.
Ashley makes it seem like she had to dig the car out. There was a heavy dusting.
Still, it could be pericoloso. Anyway, headed in, and I loved it because they just had this one door open. Everything was shut on this building, and one door open, and it was half open, steam coming out, and it was where you'd come get your reservation for your polenta. Got a vassoio for 4.
Or 2.
For 2 people, and their serving size for 4 was for 8. Or 16, I don't know.
It was around for a week. It was around for a week.
So much. We were like, yeah, let's get it for 4 so there's some leftovers. Holy shit. That was kilos of it. So, but that was fun. Nice little winter thing because it gets quiet around here. What else was going on?
In-town gossip. You guys, I was told by my wife, Ashley, sitting next to me, I don't know, that everyone really likes it when we talk about what's the gossip around town. Okay, here's
water cooler talk.
Water cooler talk. So gossip around town this whole month has been the bridge that goes over the Candeliano River that connects
It's the main road.
It's the main road. It connects one part of the little village with the other part where the post office is. And everyone, if you're passing through or if you're going through town, this is the road you go on. I'm sure they found that bridge was structurally unsound and ready to crumble into the river. Absolutely. Because the amount of work that they're doing on it right now signifies not a repaving, but
or painting or something.
Or just, hey, no, they have ripped up one side all the way down to the rebar and are redoing everything.
That's what I was just going to say. I was like, we're down to rebar.
That is down to rebar. Good. No, not good. Just makes you think every time we drive around, we just think
infrastructure, Italian infrastructure.
please just let our car get over this bridge. Anyway, this has created chaos because now they have put one of those automatic temporary removable stoplights in Piobbbico, and it goes 24/7 because there's only now one. They're doing one lane at a time. It's just one lane each direction. It's hysterical. Would you like to describe why it's hysterical?
Well, part of it is that
no one stops at that stop sign first.
No, this interchange is the road that goes through town, but wraps around town, and that's the main road. But it also has a connection with the side road that goes down the main tree-lined street. It's kind of a little Y, if you will, or looped Y, curved Y, and so. Exactly. The stop sign no one used to stop at anyway.
If you don't see traffic coming either direction, you just go.
Exactly. So now there is a backup in 3 directions, and you can't see around one of the corners well if you're coming from a Piobbbico through. If you're at the stop sign, the old stop sign, that you can see every angle. So you're real tempted to go because you could see. And the other one coming from the other direction by where the post office is, that gets so backed up. And it has just become a shit show that now people either just go. You started hearing lots of honks yesterday.
Yesterday I went into town to do some shopping, and I was in the fruit de vendo, the fruit and vegetable shop, and all I heard were honks, 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 and cars facing each other and going around each other.
Someone trying to go backwards.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, okay, no one's respecting the light anymore because it's 24/7 and the light is long.
It's long.
It's a long light.
Oh, and there is the idea that it will be there till April.
That's the word on the street is this is till spring. And it makes sense now because they've only done one half and we've been at it a month.
Anyone who's been here, Piobbbico is tidy. There's no light. There's nothing. So this is the biggest thing to hit Piobbbico ever. And in traffic sense. And it's hilarious because now Jason will be like, well, I couldn't go to pick up the package because it was on the other side of town and the light was too long and there's no way I'm waiting. It's not like just go park the car and walk. It's what would be the equivalent.
Even if I park the car and walk, I still have to wait through the light to do the little weird U-turn to come back the other way.
The whole thing, it's such a disaster.
It's all anyone can talk about.
I know. So that's the hot topics in Piobbbico.
Let me tell you, this is the
chaos.
Fast times in Piobbbico. We live life on the edge out here.
Speaking of living life on the edge, hilariously, Gaggi has gotten into living life on the edge, aka online shopping. This has been a really dangerous topic for him for years. He doesn't trust it.
He doesn't trust online shopping. He thinks that as soon as you put in your credit card to buy anything, they're going to steal your identity and show up at your house to rob everything.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But he does like 2 things. He likes the convenience now. And he likes the savings because... Well,
he likes the security also because the convenience and the security is you're doing it for him.
Yes. I will get phone calls. Usually it's 7:30 in the morning right now.
We should be getting a phone call shortly.
We will be getting a phone call shortly. I saw something on AgriEuro. AgriEuro is like this big, huge agricultural site. It's got everything from chainsaws to equipment for tractors to shears for pruning. Like they've got everything, and they got really good prices. So I'm sure he talks to one of his buddies and says, "Oh, AgriEuro is having a sale," and he I need a small pruning chainsaw.
He'd really only see this on a commercial or a circular, because he's not like scrolling online or getting an email update about any of this stuff. Or it's word of mouth.
Yeah, he's a goes through the circulars that you mail to the house guy. I do too now. Well, because they still do a lot of that here in Italy. So he tells me to buy them this chainsaw. I say, no problem. Absolutely. It'll be here in 48 hours. So next time I see him.
Oh, first of all, this is also hilarious because this is when it had snowed. And so he wasn't going to go up to his house, but they were driving through town. And Jason was like, great, I'll meet you.
He's like, where can we possibly meet? I'm like, you're driving through Piobbbico because they had to go over to Umbria, to Città di Castello. They were staying at their house in Fano because it's on the coast, it's warmer. And I go, what do you mean where? It's Piobbbico. We can meet one of the 3 bars. We can meet at the gas station. Where, like, and he's like, okay. So I go up there, and they're doing well, and we get a coffee and whatever, and we come back out to the car. I'm like, let me give you your package. And I go and open the car door, and he looks at it, he goes, that's too big. That's not my package. I go, it's definitely yours. He goes, why is the box so big? I go, I don't know. I didn't pack it. Open it up.
He wouldn't trust it, like some sort of weird dog backing up, sniffing it and like backing up, like not mine.
Not mine. And I go, all right, well, let's open it. If it's not yours, they'll refund. I've ordered from this place. They have thousands of euros of my money. Like I've ordered.
They've never done it wrong.
Never done it wrong. We open it up. It's exactly what he orders. He goes, why is it in such a big box? I didn't pack it. I don't know. That's just how they did it. I know. It's because the guy who hates his job doesn't care and just filled this box.
Just a classic Gaggi interaction, to be honest. It's not a big story or anything like that, but that's just classic interaction. Like, it's just always something with this guy. Nah, that's not mine.
Anyway, Godster's on the coast right now. Like I said, now that hunting season's over and it's kind of the dog days of the winter, they stay out there, and he'll come out every couple of weeks for the afternoon. If the weather's nice this weekend, you'll probably see him, but there's not much going on, so they stay out there. We need to actually go down there and have lunch or something.
We will.
And when I say down there, it's 45 minutes from our house on the coast in Fano. It's not the drive of. It's not the biggest drive in the world.
No, we do it all the time. Would you like to talk about Shit River, aka your shithole? It's not what it sounds like.
Well, now that everything's sorted, we can talk about this. So
okay.
I had a big problem at the end of the summer, like September. I noticed that one of the access holes on the other side of the street was underwater constantly, and it had like gray water, not like water straight from the septic, but like it wasn't. I wouldn't drink that water, and it had a sulfury smell to it. And I thought that I put my cement pad on.
So what happened was then you're like, what the hell is this? So you go and get the papers.
I go and get the paper of the diagram of the septic system for the entire house. And it turns out that they put the drain field on the other side of the road, right where I put my cement pad for the animal.
Sure shit. Literally.
And I thought, I fucked up bad.
We put down the cement slab feet. Like, how many feet from it?
I just missed it. I just missed it.
Exactly.
So I can't believe the luck I have that we didn't put it on top.
But we assumed that the work that was being done there and the heavy equipment and all of that compacted and damaged this drain field.
So that now the soil's too compacted and it can't. The water can't kind of filter through it like it's supposed to do, and it's a big problem because you have to dig everything up and redo the drain field, and you're talking like heavy machinery and truckloads of like different kinds of rock.
Yeah. So Jason's immediately like, okay, how do we do this? Do we need to rent equipment? And he's talking about getting rocks delivered and drains getting made and all of this stuff.
I thought for sure I was screwed. Like
I was like, just call the septic guy out. He's like, no.
Ashley's going for her second public apology of the podcast. So finally, it's like, all right. I tried to unblock it because this one little the last access kind of hole before the drain field was always underwater. So it was draining, but it wasn't draining properly, and so I finally called the septic guy out.
Side note. Anyone who is a fan of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, just note Jason has the heart of Charlie Kelly. at its heart, he weirdly loves this stuff.
Oh,
it sounds so gross. Like, and he's like, I got to get in there. I got to get over there.
I got to go down and work on my shithole today.
I know. So
I call the septic guy out. He comes out.
He's telling the story with a smile, folks.
He comes out with this giant truck with this giant, like, think of it's a hose that has the most incredible vacuum you've ever seen in your life, and he vacuums out the whole end of the tube going towards the drain field. And sure enough, you hear it. It goes thump. And out comes this big plug of like leaves and sticks and all this. It wasn't like
toilet
paper. It's like just like it's under like the axe. I don't know. Stuff gets in there.
Mm-hmm. And it's been 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years since we've cleaned it out. Because Fusciani never did it, and
we've been here 15.
Been here 15. So, and then all of a sudden, when he did that, you hear all the water rushing. Everything is going down the drain field. Nothing is clogged up. It's working as it's supposed to. Holy crap, bullet dodged. The only thing we have to do is find all the access panels for all the – we have 4 different septic tanks and a main like decomposition tank. I don't even know what you call it. We have to find the access holes for all of them, and he's going to come back probably early next month and suck all those out. And we're good to go.
So what we've done for the past 15 years is drop little satchel pods.
We've dropped a enzyme that's a natural enzyme that breaks down.
It's like a little pod.
Yeah, and you drop them once a week in all the toilets, and that helps break down all the matter in your septic. And he says it doesn't work, but that's a septic guy whose job it is to come out and suck these things.
It has to work. We've been here 15 years with a whole lot of shitters and guests throughout the years. There's no way, kids rolling the toilet paper, all that stuff, that there's no way that.
So I think they do help.
Yeah.
But I think every once in a while you do still have to have it all sucked out professionally. So we get to do that. That'll be, what a day.
Oh my God.
That'll be a great day.
So major bullet dodge.
Oh yeah, this was going to be
we
thought this is going to be the spring. Like,
oh my God, do we have to redirect the tube? The thing goes, if there's a problem with where this drainage field, this is where we've put the animals. So it's like, literal shit.
Also, I think if you have to redo it, you have to come up to the standards of 2023.
Yeah, probably.
Not God only knows.
Who knows what the standards? If there was no checks and standards in this house.
Yeah, so I'm sure it's like, no, you can't you were grandfathered in because you already had it done, but you can't redo it in this manner. You have to do it how? And maybe what happens if they're like, you can't even put it there anymore?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't want to find out. I'm glad most people around here don't speak English, because if they heard this podcast, we're screwed too.
Absolutely.
Don't tell anyone.
No, just keep it between us, guys. NL bill arrived.
NL bill
Speaking
arrived.
of house stuff and country living.
So I don't know if you've checked the news lately, but we got a little bit of energy thing going on in Europe. Most of the countries, and however you believe that is, because the reality is our NL bill went to power bill went to €500 for 2 people in December, and Ashley was gone half the month. We don't have nothing on.
we had some Christmas lights, but not for the whole month because we had shut them off as of December 1st. We blew them up for November because it was the old bill. And it was like, yep. Or the old pricing structure. And then we knew it was going to change. And so we shut it down until like the week of Christmas and then put the lights back on. But yikes. Yeah. Normally, for the two of us, it could be
$120, maybe. Mm-hmm. It depends on like $100, $120. So now it went to $5, and that is laughable because it's just two of us. What happens when the summer comes around and we fill this house and we have all the lights on and all the things going, and it's going to be...
So don't be surprised on your next trip to Italy, whether it's with us, a big hotel, another farm, a bed and breakfast. Prices are going up for everything because the cost of living, the cost of energy, the cost of food has all just ratcheted up.
Whatever they say on the news, the percentages, it's BS. Everything's gone up way. It's 30. Like our lives are a third more expensive. Mm-hmm. Easily.
Yep. So just FYI, when you're like, God, it looks like Italy got expensive. It did. That's true. We also just got back from a little getaway. We went to Lake Garda and Verona.
So Ashley went and saw a family that. Let me start over. Around the holidays, Ashley went and saw family. I stayed home with the dog. So I've kind of been home since this, I don't think
summer,
yeah, every day, all day. It's like, let's get out of here for 3 days. So we found a place to board the beast, and we shot up for up to the Verona area, Lake Garda area for a outdoor.
It was called the European Outdoor Expo or show. Sorry,
European Outdoor Show. So hunting, fishing, outdoors, everything. Mm-hmm. I've never been to one of these things.
No.
When growing up, we'd go to like boat shows.
Yeah, remember New York? We went to the concept car show.
We went to the car shows and stuff like that, but I've never been to like a hunting, fishing, boating, outdoor one.
And we've gone to the agro ones.
Yes, with all the farm equipment.
Exactly.
So we kind of knew what to expect, but I was still interested, and I didn't like. Do you get to touch guns? Do you like what's going on? Do you get to touch all this stuff? Because most of the time, it's no touching.
First of all, it was almost an hour of touching everyone outside shoulder to shoulder because there was only 6 metal detectors for like
50,000 people. It was insane.
Oh my God, it took forever to get in.
Verona's really nice. It's about door to door, 3.5 hours from our. It's right at you can start seeing the Alps in Verona.
Verona, I like a lot. It's a sweet city. Oh, there's Dr. Gaggi. We got to push pause.
One moment. All right, that was sorry about that. Actually, no, sorry, not sorry, because you didn't even miss you didn't even miss a second. That was the 7:30 Gaggi call. 7:30 Gaggi call usually lasts. I like it. It lasts between 30 and 90 seconds. It's usually an update of the weather and what we are going to be doing today to make sure that. I don't know. He just wants to know. Uh-huh. And sometimes if the weather gets bad, it'll be a twice daily. You get an afternoon one for like a snow update. He never believes the temperature usually we give him.
Nope. Don't know why he calls.
I have a very nice professional weather station that gives us it used to give accurate information. I don't know anymore. But information on the weather, barometric pressure, wind speed, temperature, the whole nine. He doesn't believe that thing at all. Yet every time he comes over, he stares at it.
But when he calls, wrong.
How much snow is there? 10 centimeters. No, there's not. Oh, okay.
It's sunny in Fano. Well, like we just mentioned, it's 45 minutes away and on the coast, and we're in the foothills. So it is a little different.
All right, let's get it back on track.
All right, Verona.
Verona. We talked about nice.
It's so lovely.
It's so lovely. Plenty of parking.
There is. It's a nice little city to walk around. But let's talk about the expo or the show.
We talked shoulder to shoulder to get in. There was only like 3.
You were getting ready to say that you could touch stuff.
Oh, yeah. I thought you weren't going to be able to touch anything. No touching. I was also one of those kids who mom had to remind him before we went in anywhere, no touching of anything.
Oh, my mom made us walk in stores, especially if it was antiques or anywhere certain nice. This is what she would say to us, hands behind your back. And we had to walk with our hands behind our back, holding our hands behind our back.
I usually just got to don't touch anything.
We were spastic. Look how lanky I am. These arms flail.
So... So I turned to Ashley before we go in. I go, I don't think we could touch anything.
No, and he says it like super serious. Like, all right, just
like most of the time when you go to anything with these kind of expensive, whether it's fishing stuff or like you ask and they'll let you touch whatever you want, but most of the time you can't touch it all. This was
you can't touch the produce at the grocery stores here. So there you go.
That's true. So turn around and there are displays of people touching everything. Guns, fishing pole, like it was there to be touched. It was really, really cool.
Except for one poor guy in the archery section who it was the one and only exhibit not to be touched, and they didn't have it like bolted in. And so everyone, we went to ask him a question or two, and the entire time he was distracted and would have to tell every single person walking by that went to touch it, please don't touch the display. And it was like, oh, this poor guy.
Poor guy, because you're just surrounded of displays that everyone could touch.
They had pools where you could fly fish to practice, which was cool.
Yeah. So it was a bit overwhelming because it was packed.
It was a zoo.
It was a zoo. And we really weren't there we had a list of stuff that we were looking for, and it wasn't really guns.
No.
And then it was more archery. We want to get into archery. I really like it.
I was looking for some hiking pants for taking Leroy on walks, and saw some ones in the hunt because I was like, oh yeah, the hunting stuff looks good. Oh my God, 340 euros. And I was like, well, I walk the dog every day. I'm
like, Ashley, that would be the most expensive pair of pants you own by 3 times.
I know.
What do you mean?
Just to walk the dog. So I didn't get those. While we were there, though, Jason did get hypnotized by something that never thought he'd be into.
Next door to the Fiera of Verona, what would you call it? The fairgrounds are huge. So there's all these buildings, and the expo took up like 4 buildings, and then I think there's like 8 or 12 total. So, but in the building next to where the expo was a dog show. Never been to a dog show.
Never either.
Didn't know I was going to a dog show. I just walked through 2 doors, and out in front of me was.
They probably had 6 or 8 different show zones, pens, paddocks.
Small ones, paddock, yeah.
And there was a lot of activity. We had dogs.
Then there was the Ring of Honor. Then there was the main
and that was starting at 5 o'clock. We weren't sure if we were going to stick around or what. But it was just hilarious to also just see all the different types of dogs, to see the whole setups. I couldn't stop thinking of the movie Best in Show. It was a bit hilarious. And then Jason comes up to me and he's like, we're going to start doing this. And I was just like, oh my God.
We're going to start showing the beast. I think so. It was pretty, the primping and the like everything that you see from what you think a dog show is, with the tables and the collars and the people manicuring their dogs and the outfits and the whole thing. It was great. I'll probably hate all of those people.
Absolutely.
But we will win it all.
It's like we're taking it home.
I think he's got the stuff to go all the way.
So it was fun. It was cool just to check everything out.
We got nothing on our list. We were there for like a tent and a real raft. Not a cheap one that won't pop. We were there for boots, hiking boots. We were there for...
They had some boots and stuff, but then it just gets overwhelming with so much stuff going on.
It really wasn't a buying expo. No. It was a touch it, feel it. And
any of the shoes that I actually saw that I wanted, they were like, oh, no, you have to go to our website.
Yeah,
and I was like,
course.
I can't even try them on then.
No.
But still, it was fun I don't know. It's always fun to see all these... It brought out the Italians, like just all dapper and dressed up, to just your kids and everything. There was a female ratio. What would you say?
100 to 1. Well, let's just put it this way. When we went to the bathroom, there was a line for the guys, which I haven't been...
out the door for guys. And I go, oh, yes, this is when it comes in handy. No line for the ladies. I was like, this is amazing.
It's usually reversed, yeah?
Absolutely.
But that was half of the trip. We only went 3 nights, but the other half of the trip was there to get wine and olive oil. Because this little area is a microclimate near Lago di Garda, because they have underground
thermal
springs that keeps the soil at a warmer temperature. They produce really, really nice olive oil, because the olive oil in our area, to me, is too acidic and overpriced. They want like 22 euros a liter for olive oil in our area, and I don't think it's worth that.
And up there?
10 euros a liter for absolutely gorgeous olive oil that is much more neutral, and it's beautiful. It's just not that. Ashley likes the olive oils with the like hard acidic finish.
I want to like choke on the green.
She wants to choke on the green at the end.
I like it.
I don't like that. It's too much. That's not what I want to.
I'm like, oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
And then if you go down to Puglia, then it's like motor oil, like green motor oil.
Even
it just
better.
stays in your mouth, like it coats your entire mouth, and that's all you taste. Which, if you're used to that, or if that's your thing, okay. But it's just like wine, different strokes for different folks. Sometimes you want the neutral one. Like if you're making pesto, you cannot make pesto with a strong olive oil. You have to make it with these neutral oils. One like we got near Lago di Garda, or you have to go to the...
So the area we went to was on the east coast of Garda, and Garda's huge. It's the largest lake in Italy, and huge tourism spot, but in the off-season, it's fantastic. And so we were near Bardolino, which is where an Lazis... Lazis.
Yeah, there's a lot of vowels in that word.
And a Z early on, so I was a little confused. But Bardolino and that area. And that is very famous, like Jason was saying, for the olive oil. A lot of rosé comes from this region as well.
Really nice wines.
Really nice wine. So we went and restocked our cantina. It's always hilarious to go, not for a wine tasting, because we're like there to shop and buy wine, but you got to taste it. At like 9:30 in the morning, but because these are farms and stuff, everyone's open. So it was like, all right, let's get going. And so one morning we drove from basically the bottom of the lake all the way to the tip top, and you end up in the Alps real quick.
You do. We didn't realize how far north it went. Now, Lago di Garda is not above Milan. Como is above Milan. I prefer Lago di Garda over Como. Como, yeah. It's
I don't know. He's a Como hater. I'd like to try it again, but he's not into it, so I'm not sure. But Garda, I really did enjoy.
It's nice.
Really pretty for drive around. Sweet little towns.
Good cheese. They've got different. They've got more of the Trentino,
you've got
like Alps kind of cheese.
A lot of influence from the north.
Everything goes to my stomach, so we're just going to tell you about the olive oil, wine, and cheese. Also, even though I don't really drink wine every like the lush next to me, she drinks wine for lunch during every day. I don't like the whites from our area. I think Marchigiani whites are not good. They aren't.
They're a little too acidic and
they're just not
green
good
for you.
Yeah,
I know.
They're just not
They're
good.
not as great, to be honest.
White wine from the Beautiful. Much nicer.
Something else which was much nicer is to visit this area. I was there last year in November with my best friend was in town, Michelle, and we drove around a bit and did some of the towns. And then this trip with Jay, we did the whole half side, like I mentioned. Great because there's no traffic. Now, if you're visiting in peak time of year.
Oh, in the summer?
Yes.
It's a 2-lane road, one lane each direction, all the way around the lake.
God forbid they're doing some sort of construction or road work or whatnot, and it goes down to 1 lane. It was fine for us in the winter.
There was no one on the road.
No, but I'm just thinking.
Oh, I wouldn't go back.
Oh, my God. Oh, and this was just north of Gardalandia.
There was Gardalandia.
And Movieland.
Like the saddest, like a music.
They are super creepy in a way because they're closed, so it's just like, oh, it is so eerie. Diabolique. All these like random weird rides. It's like the off-brand version of
like a Six Flags or a Great America.
Yeah,
or something. It's just the off-brand one. It's like, oh, that's cute.
And it's just, I don't know. There's some, I am not into it, but my God, it must get packed there in the summer. So just another disaster to avoid. So Just maybe visit them in the fall up there when all of that stuff's closed.
And the grapes during the grape and the
that's a lot nicer.
Harvest, yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was a little 3-night getaway. We dumped old beast Leroy, the Great Dane, for the first time. This was. I thought he was going to go to like a Caesar Milan enrichment center where all the dogs frolic together.
Well, we've had guests throughout the years who have mentioned and shown us photos of their dogs being boarded at like a swanky dog hotel where they get photos sent each day. There's like a dog cam in the little room where they're all photos of Cinco de Mayo and the dogs everyone's wearing sombreros. It's like, whoa, they're having a better party than we are. So we were like, we got to find one of these.
This was not the case.
I don't know if it exists in Italy.
I could not find Caesar Milan's enrichment center in Italy. This place was recommended by the breeder, and she said if I leave my dog, it's the only place I'll go to. So it's like, all right, if she leaves hers there, I'll leave mine. But
he's a trainer, and so that I'm sure he does really well, and his team. But it is mainly dog jail.
It's dog jail. So old Leroy was not too happy to be there. He wasn't traumatized, but he was definitely ready to come home. And for some reason, they taught him to jump up on your shoulders. Okay, so this dog is now, we weighed him yesterday. He's 8 months old today, and he's 61 kilos. He's like 135 pounds.
Big boy.
It's a big boy. These jerk-offs taught him to jump up and put his paws on your shoulders, which I do not want him to do.
Never.
The first 2 days we had him home, all he wanted to do was jump up on our shoulders because I'm sure they don't get dogs like this, and they all want to take selfies with my dog on their shoulders. Meanwhile, you can't have a 130-pound dog jump on your shoulders.
Not into it.
Not into it. So that was the only thing. Otherwise, old Leroy was no worse for wear.
I took him for a walk the other day, and we were down following the creek back to the road, and we heard another dog and this and that, and Leroy started barking, and it was like, oh, shoot. Someone else is out here because I don't put them on a leash. Neither one of us do when we're deep out here. There's
especially this time.
Yeah, this time of year. The hunting's closed, so it's like there's no one out.
There's no one riding bikes.
No, and so I was like, grab the dog, start heading back to the road, and I see the dogs are getting shuttled that we had seen down by the ravine into their car, and the two hunters are just
truffle hunters.
Well, I didn't quite know what they were at first, but truffle hunters are just standing at the car waiting for us to come out of the woods, and it was like, what the hell? And they go, oh, we just wanted to see what this dog was because they were like, we've never heard. We thought maybe it was another truffle hunter out here, but we've never heard a truffle hunting dog that bark like that. And they were so curious and wanted to meet him, and he's friendly, this and that. And the one guy said, how much does he weigh? And I said, I don't know, I'm guessing around 50 kilos. We haven't weighed him yet. And he goes, nope. He goes, he's definitely more than that. And that guy was spot on, 10 kilos more. But it's just hilarious, the reactions out here. Because, you're not expecting just this booming, deep in. Like, those truffle dogs are all small, so they have a very specific kind of bark when you hear them.
More yappy. Mm-hmm. He
sounds like a beast.
He sounds like a beast, and he doesn't do multiple barks. It's always super big, super deep, one bark at a time. Mm-hmm. One ping per silly.
One ping. So it's been fun. Good times with the dog, big boy. Speaking of dog, it's the dog days of winter.
Yeah, these are the time of year, late January. I guess there is Carnival now, but
no, but even just like the grocery store, it's just like what
grocery store? What do you do? What's with the grocery store?
No, there's nothing right now for fruits and veg.
Oh yeah. It's the dog days. So
it's like.
If you want to see Italy, like really see Italy, to figure out, do I really love this place or not, come in February. Mm-hmm. Not a lot's open. The days are shorter. There's not, the tomatoes and all that stuff in the kitchen. There's no one here.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was the other thing. Garda did. So it was hilarious going to some of these towns, and it was just like, Oh my God.
Not dead as in the sense that there's no people. Dead in the sense that none of the shops are open. Mm-hmm. Tons of shops in these little touristy lake towns.
But
Tons.
just shut up.
Yeah, nothing.
Shut up, closed. So it was just, that is Italy in the winter. Like we had some beautiful weather up there, and just like here, you'll have some gorgeous sunny days. But yeah, if you're traveling in the middle of winter, it's the dog days because nothing's really open and going on. But it is the time to come if you're thinking about moving here, because you will get a real feel for what it's like.
So this time of year is maintenance, room maintenance, cleanup around, trimming. We're doing lots of pruning right now, shrubs and trees and all that good stuff, and figuring out what are we doing. What's our big project going to be for this this early spring?
But one thing this month we have to keep us entertained, which I am so freaking excited. We had our first meeting. It wasn't a class yet, but for archery. And we are taking archery classes.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. This is going to be so much fun, though. And very competitive.
It's hysterical. Joining a club of any sort in these small towns is really fun because it's really a great way to become part of the community. Or it's just fun because there is a lot of pomp and circumstance to it. Whether you're joining a squad for boar hunters or you're joining a squad of people who ride bikes for the local...
Or the choir.
There's always
there's always first an initial meeting involved.
So we went... So
before we get into anything.
We're taking the beginner course, which is 10 lessons. It's an hour and a half each time. We were told... This first meeting that we drove to was just... We're just going to sit around and waste everyone's time. Listen, all of the information,
because it's 2 towns over, so it took longer to drive there each way than the meeting was.
Yes, it took 35 minutes to drive there, and the meeting was 30. They could have put all that in one text message, or just like
save it for the first meeting or
totally.
First class.
Anyway, we were told that the first couple of lessons, more than half the lesson is devoted to stretching. So I was very intrigued in how we were going to fill 45 minutes a day in stretching, but we'll figure it out. I really like this idea because we went to a couple of these competitions. Everyone dresses up in like medieval garb, and it just seems like a real zen hobby that you can get into that doesn't cost a lot of money. You know, you get your bow and your arrows and you're kind of done.
We're out here. We've got the space.
We have the space, and it's something that I think I can go down there and do every evening for, you shot for 50 shots, and it doesn't make any noise. It doesn't. I like it.
Oh, I totally like it, and I love the competition side of it as well. And when we showed up to this place, we just were sent a pin drop, and it was like, thank God there was one other chick, and we were just wandering the middle of the street at 9 o'clock at night going, where the hell?
At 9 o'clock at night.
On this residential street next to a school going, where are we supposed to go? And not a clue. And then the guy shows up and is like, Ashley, yes, come with me. And then the other girl as well. And with Jason. And we go down, and it's underneath this storage bunker.
Underneath the elementary school is a storage bunker for the village. And there was the folding tables and different stuff down there. It was just the whole...
You kind of weave your way in, and all of a sudden you're in this whole back zone, and it's their clubhouse.
Yes. So it's dank and dark, and there's no windows, but there's all the they make all their own arrows, and they make all their own targets, and the animals, the fake animals, and all the things that they do. And since it's
the machinery to make all of these things is right there.
And since it's this open area downstairs, it's all you need is 12 meters for archery. So what's that? 12 times 3, 36, 40 feet. Mm-hmm. It's not like a shooting range where you need hundreds of...
So they have a one wall dedicated to it and different targets and everything. It was great. So we start talking about everything, and they're
freezing, absolutely freezing. Of
course it is.
You can see your breath inside of this place.
Of course it is. But because it's freezing, they did mention that it's very important to note not to wear a scarf when you are doing archery.
The shit we talked about.
Because that would be very dangerous. Because we all know Italians love scarves, and this is true, and it's hilarious. But he was like, you cannot wear a scarf. But so we're talking about also, first and foremost, it's about safety for us and for the others that we are around. So we went through all the safety stuff and whatnot. We talked about the arches and the bows, and that it's like a Robin Hood, and there's the 3 kind of instructors, and very hilariously Italian.
We start at 9:30 at night, 2 days a week, which is
9 o'clock at night.
9 o'clock at night, which is we don't go outside at night on account of the wolves.
It's true. We did not in the winter. I don't know. But so we're going through all of this, and then he says, any questions? And we're kind of starting to wrap up, and I was joking, but kind of serious. But I go, yes. What about the outfits? And he goes, brava. Very good question. This is very important. We have decided as our team that we are for the people. We are not archers for the king, for the noblemen.
Of course we're not.
No, we are the poors.
You can't even pretend to be the noble archers?
No. So the outfit is actually very important. The guys can make things at home, but they do have a color palette that they go with. Brown, white, that.
It basically looks
like black, because I had no idea black is the color for priests.
Yeah. It's basically a hippie shirt, like one of those shirts without buttons, without elastic in it. Think of like
a pirate's puffy shirt.
Yeah, like a pirate puffy shirt. I think of it more looking like a hippie.
Sure,
hippie
it is.
Shirt.
It is. But he said the women's outfits are much more important, and told me where to go. And it was just, but we need to all be in the same era and same look for when we do these garas. If we go to the competition together,
they were.
And each one of them, as we were sitting there, had a members-only jacket on, sweatshirt or hoodie or something.
Think of the 80s silken jackets that like the football coaches would wear. Like they're shiny with the sleeves, and on the back is written like
the name or the logo.
Archery. All of them had it. All of them
loved it. I was like, I thought secretly, and where do I get one of those jackets?
You got to earn that jacket.
I know I do. So we're pumped. The targets are so cool because we want to get some of those animal targets.
I didn't realize fake animals were extremely expensive.
Neither did I. You can get a standing
giant polar bear standing going. It's
about 800 euros.
It's 800 euros for a styrofoam polar bear.
We can go down to the fox, which I think is about 200 or 300.
Still more. I was shocked at the price of fake animals.
Me too, because I wanted to get like half a dozen of them and put them out back. Put them on out back somewhere and do our own little obstacle course.
Dude, people will find out you have those, and that is the things that will get taken.
No shit. Or they'll just come back here to blow them up because it's like, look how cool. I know. So we've got stuff going on. I'm excited.
What else is on your list?
That's it.
That's all the list?
Yeah. We talked about a bunch of stuff.
All right. Very good. All right. Wrap it up then.
Oh, God. And the phone's ringing again. You know where to find us. LaTavolaMarche.com. LATAVOLAMARCHE. Follow me on Instagram or Facebook, and you can follow Leroy at Leroy the Great Dane too. Definitely check out the website. We've added a bunch of new dates for August and September, October. The truffle hunt in October has sold out, but we still have space for the first week of November if you guys are interested. Otherwise, have a great week, month, whatever it is until we come back on here. And that's it. Ciao, ciao.
Sentire Media.
Hey, podcast producers and show hosts. Do you want to join a podcast network that celebrates all things Italian? At Sentire Media, we understand the allure of Italy and its unique culture. Our devoted team of hosts and producers are all driven by their shared passion for Italy. and we work tirelessly to create the best lifestyle podcasts and content that will whisk you away to the very heart of Italy. With us, you can savor the mouth-watering flavors, get lost in the stories from the past, break down the cultural barriers, and truly immerse yourself in the vibrant traditions of this intoxicating country. If you have a great podcast idea or are already in production and would like to join Sentire Media, head over to sentiremedia.com, that's SENTIRE media.com, and find out how to submit your show.